Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Pathologic. Now, I've heard a lot of good things about this game, though personally I know nothing about it. All I know is that there is already a second part out. However, I figured might as well go and and look at the first one to begin with. Now, I assume from what I'm seeing is that this game is going to mess with my brain, my morality, and it could be a bit of a horror game to boot. So, as a fan of weird stuff, I'm quite personally looking forward to it. So, without any further ado, let's go right in. Okay, let's start a new game. That was quick.
It's all about trickery to you?
Wait, can we get some subtitles, please? Audio. No subtitles. That's slightly unfortunate. I guess we'll have to.
No. I detest trickery. But if
move.
we ourselves are to suffer deception, our hands are no longer tied. Where are we?
Well, the muscular contraction is there. Means we're already inside of him. This must be one of the ventricles, right here.
What a silly place. It's stuffed. So it's not real for now? I don't think it has started yet.
Does it matter what it's made of? It's definitely struggling. We need to perform sectio transversalis. Cut the wall. There's no other way out. What else is there to do?
I know what to do. Those who favor hard logic and direct action are bound to be misguided. Only a miracle can set us free without us having to destroy something. And I can do miracles. Just let me.
Will you please be quiet? You're a liar and a thief. Who is going to believe you when you keep lying to yourself? The truth is my shepherd. Whatever happens, I will find answers, and justice will be restored. I will perform the operation. Medica morbo adhibe.
Don't you go all bossy on me, clever clogs. You will act justly, but your justice will blind you and become his demise. This calls for the gentle hand of a surgeon. Step aside, both of you.
Your gentle hands are used to killing, not giving life. You will inevitably do harm. As for Brainy, he has no regard for casualties at all. Neither of you knows compassion.
Yes, it seems unlikely that we'll get along well, but there's only one truth.
Any choice is right as long as it's willed. That's the truth of the matter.
Only the heart will show you the right choice. Stop thinking about yourselves. Think of the sick. He's in pain. I can't see it yet, but I can feel it.
It's not even a trap. It's a grave. Sum fumus sumus. Can't say I hold a soft spot for it.
I can see that. You're full of hate. Stuffed or not, it's breathing. I can hear it. It can be healed rather than killed.
You mean you won't become a killer? But you will. Mark my word.
I'm
That's
so
exactly
confused what's
what
going
will
on.
happen. But I can avoid it.
No, we won't ever get along. I suggest we be on our way. The sooner the better.
Off we go then?
Let's go. The clock is ticking.
What the? They're all three of them are just frozen down there. Yeah, they're just standing there. I am so confused what I just witnessed. Were they performing a play? They were talking about some procedure. I have no idea what's going on. And they're still there, all three of them. Look at them. Oof. Okay. Starting strong. Ooh, okay. Do I get to pick between the three characters? Okay. Bachelor. The history of humanity witnessed a number of catastrophes that have demonstrated without a shadow of a doubt the pettiness of human achievement and the triumph of the incredible evil. Outbreaks of infectious diseases that have from time to time wiped the towns and cities off the map are undoubtedly among those. However, smart and virtuous, the people caught up in these destructive events and have repeatedly come to the conclusion that it is no use trying to fight these circumstances. The best you can do is bite the bullet and cope with your losses. This is a story of a person who has managed to work a miracle and defeat a seemingly unvanquishable foe. Okay, her specs. How do they call upon the Manku, the faithful of a wardenkin? Known by their hands, for they are butchers, known by their eyes, for they are surgeons. They who follow the lines, they who are the leaders of the kin, they who speak the Udurgs. We'll go with that. They who know the secret art of haruspicy. What is a haruspex? Reading the future in the entrails. He knows what a body bears. He knows that a body bears semblance to the universe. His scalpel follows the lines of the body. His steps follow the lines of his kin's fortune. A haruspex that can tell a true line from a false one is entrusted with power. A haruspex who is confused by his path gets buried into the deep black flesh of the earth. This is a story of a person who has avoided the contradiction, eager to rip a doomed life apart. Masterfully fulfilling his true purpose in the process. I don't like this guy, like straight off the bat. Changeling. This character is only unlocked after you finish the Bachelor or the haruspex storyline. Huh. Well, let's go with the Bachelor first. He's the first on the line, and I don't like the way this guy is looking at me. So, let go.
Daniil Dankovsky, a Bachelor of Medicine, was brought here by circumstances most unfortunate. Dankovsky's life work, his theory challenging the existing notions of human mortality, is being harshly persecuted by the powers that be. Suddenly, a letter arrives from a colleague suggesting that there is previous undiscovered evidence which may support Dankovsky's claims. There is a settlement, the letter says, ruled by an extraordinary man who may well be seen as objective proof of Dankovsky's daring hypothesis. Grasping at straws of hope, Dankovsky decides to follow what he believes to be the sign of divine providence. Without further ado, he sets off for the settlement. Late at night, Bachelor arrives in the town. As he seeks room and board, he gets to know a girl called Eva Yan and stays at her place till dawn.
Oh God. Is that us? Oh, that's us. Okay. Who are all these people? This is so weird. As of today, my mission remains obscure. The examination of Simon Kane, who is rumored to be a man of incredible longevity, may shake the very foundation of modern pathology and challenge the existing notions of death itself. However, even if this undying Leviathan proves to be more than a fairy tale, the mere confirmation of his existence won't suffice to prevent the powers that be from shutting our laboratory down. I need to figure out the most fruitful approach. Simon is a well-respected man, and if he mistakes my interest for effrontery, it would be nigh impossible to convince him to help me break new ground in the field of human vitality. And today's quest and other tasks are blank. Okay, escape? Okay. Day 1, by the end of which the bachelor finds himself battling a truly unvanquishable foe. Well, for a HD remaster, the graphics look fairly good. Okay, what are we dealing with? Anything interact? Okay, so anything interactable highlights. Okay, when I click on the bed, I get my health, immunity, hunger, exhaustion, and infection bars. Oh, this is how many hours I want to sleep. Okay, I don't want to sleep yet. This is my storage. I got a scalpel. Ah. That's the microscope. As I said, I went into this completely blind. I have no idea what I'm doing, so bear with me while I'm figuring things out. Okay, I can go downstairs. Hello? Anyone home? Oh. That's a nice art. Hi, lady.
I had a feeling you would come.
Did the sounds from the outside wake you up too? There was a terrible groan and then something snapped loudly. I fell asleep so quickly I didn't even notice. It's like I fainted. So what sounds are you talking about? I think there are strangers in the backyard by the pond. They're unlikely to be planning mischief, but I have a bad feeling about this. I'm afraid to go out to them. I hope they go away soon and stop disturbing our sleep. Yeah, why do you think they aren't planning anything foul? Our population is so thin, crime is basically non-existent, especially here in the Stone Yard. Sometimes there are pranks, of course, fights happen occasionally. People are young here, so they often go out at night. But we're a tight community, and now I hear unfamiliar speech. That's not a good sound. Don't worry, lady, I'll go out and have a look. But I'm in a hurry, I must see this founding father of yours. Are you willing to trade the company of a fascinated woman for that of a dreadful old man, even if he is a sorcerer? There's a couple of things in that sentence that I'm not okay with. That's so sad, but Simon won't go anywhere. He has always been, he always will be. Even if the moon were to fall to the ground. Again, more things that are very wrong. Please stay with me a little longer. Simon is a sorcerer, did I hear you right? Is that the secret to his longevity? Or, I couldn't even imagine the hospitality here, but who was waiting for me? I didn't notify old Burak of my arrival. I'm not even sure what made me take off for this place. I'm gonna go with the sorcerer bit. The sorcerer bit kinda bothers me. Are you in that much of a hurry? Do come around. The Canes are asleep now. Take your knockabout coat off, have a rest in my bed. Let me warm your hands. You are so anxious to see Simon, as though your life depended on it. Yeah, have a rest in your bed. Yeah. Also, this face here does not correspond to this face here. Kinda. My life, yes. Now that my laboratory is on the brink of destruction, my whole life's pursuit depends on that remarkable man. If he has really managed to live that long, then his tissues will help me defeat death. Will they though? Will they really? Death, so that's the enemy you've chosen for yourself. Isn't it hard? I don't think anyone has managed to defeat that evil yet. Millions of doctors defeated it on certain singular occasions, but my enemy is more fearsome. It is death itself rather than a singular case of death. Yeah, I like this one. I don't get it. I can barely understand it myself. Could death only seem inevitable to us, but in reality be nothing more than a whim of the will that has shaped this world? That is the question. So where is the key to my victory? It's not far. The Canes live at the Crucible, on Bridge Square. But could I please offer you a piece of advice? Do go on. Simon has two younger brothers. The eldest of the two, Georgie? Georgi is called the judge by the locals. Visit him first. He isn't asleep. He'll teach you how to speak with Simon. The youngest of the three is Victor. His daughter, Maria, also wanted to see you. It's probably important. Was it she who knew about my arrival beforehand? Yes, she told me about it privately. Talking to her is no simple task. Maria is that kind of a person. She puts on airs, but that's just how the Canes are. It was Maria who told me that she would help you defeat death. That's the precise wording. What a coincidence. Alright, thank you for your advice. Go, and prepare everything for your return. Do come back after you speak to the Canes. They will probably do a lot of things that will puzzle you and put you on guard. I will have some advice that may be of help for you, if you need it. I'm unlikely to stay here for long, Eva. I will depart after speaking to Simon, with or without him. Oh, well, they're not too far. Okay, so I'm in the Crucible. The Crucible. The mansion of Maria Kaina, Victor Kane's daughter. The mysterious Maria, Victor Kane's daughter, has been expecting my arrival for several days. She seems to know more about me than I do. Okay, so there's 3 buildings in this courtyard. The Crucible. Well, the whole courtyard is called the Crucible. So there's one mansion that belongs to Georgi Kane, Simon Kane's brother. One belonging to Maria Kaina, who's Kane's daughter, and Victor Kane, Simon Kane's brother. And where are we? Bring that back. We are down here. Okay, this mansion that we are at, called the Stillwater, belongs to a single girl called Eva Yan. An accidental midnight encounter provided me with a lovely companion and temporary lodging. Fair enough. Alright. Let's move on with that bit of exposition. Time to head out. Wow, it's now that I'm looking at it, it's not much of a mansion. There's like this one room here, the big one. Then there's stairs to the one room upstairs. That's about it. Not much of a mansion. Oh well. Let's go outside, see what greets us. It's unlikely to be good. It is very unlikely to be good. What the Ah! Oh, it moves. What are you? Executor. Nice to meet you, buddy. Halt!
Stop! You violated the law.
I'm going to have to teach you about the technicalities of the setting, the time and place. It's non-essential, but that's just how it is. The actor has to be prepared before he goes on stage, or else he'll fall down the aisle or stumble upon the prompt box. That would look mighty silly, won't you agree? Speak. I am listening. Time flies by. It can't be stopped or turned back. Nights follow days, which are then followed by nights. Things happen without any regard for whether you're there to witness them. Don't expect anyone to wait for you. Most events can be missed. And so it would make sense for you to visit the places that you care about regularly. You'll find the people that will play major roles in your fate there. They stand out from the common folk. The rest are just a crowd shot, a background, a bunch of extras. As it's always been. Indeed. So it's best to avoid hasty judgment. It's a paradox, you see. Don't try to care too much for the lives of these bound to stand out people, and don't be too dismissive of the silent crowd. Both extremes will end in tragedy. Why is that? The world cares for your reputation, a fine and crucial instrument. Your reputation changes the world you see, for it is a mirror, wouldn't you agree? And so a bad reputation can get you into a lot of trouble. For example, oh, need I describe? You've got vivid imagination. Everything changes from mystical aspects to mundane things like the people you need treating you badly. How many enemies you've got, how high the prices rise, how bad your dreams are, lots of things. A sorry prospect. So how do I maintain my reputation? Really? How is that even a question? Same as anywhere. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not betray. Do not steal, do not covet, and more importantly, don't be an asshole. Do not get caught. The rules are the same everywhere. A truly selfless deed, like risking something for thy neighbor or even a person who lives quite far away, can help in a dire situation. I see. Really? Good for you then. As for me, I can't see anything in this mask. I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, don't get too worked up about human lives, and don't put too much stock into another's words, mine included. He who trusts everyone is asking to be deceived. Yet he who trusts no one is deluded. I know that from experience. Very well then, Executor. Nice mask you have. And you say you can't see shit in that? I am inclined to believe that. Okay, who are you? Why are you? A tragedian. You're a tragedy. Venerable bachelor, please be so kind as to linger for a minute. This conversation won't take too much of your time, especially since time stops during dialogues. At least during the important ones. And our dialogue is extremely important. You need to know how to play after all, don't you? Play? What are you talking about, masked man? I'm neither a gambler nor an actor. Let's play dumb. Of course you aren't. You are a living, breathing man, as is evident from your conditions and statuses. You experience hunger, thirst, and fatigue. You suffer from pain, wounds, and diseases. You're so lifelike. You have to eat, drink, sleep, and rest, and to make mistakes. The latter being the most definitive proof of my human nature, wouldn't you agree? If I may, I would like to point out just how important it is to keep an eye on your condition. If you get dizzy or unnaturally sluggish, do have it checked up. Vital processes tend to run faster during emergencies than in everyday life. I knew a person who died of stress, but was diagnosed with starvation. It happens. I can testify to that as a doctor. Need I remind a wise man like you of the fact that hunger is sated with food? Food can be found in shops, and shops can be found in ordinary houses that are marked with specific signs. Like the shop signs. Sleep, however, is more complicated. People only sleep in beds and only in private residences around here. I'm sorry, but that's just how our world is. Oh yeah, the world is so unjust. I can't just barge in somewhere and sleep in another person's bed. That's so unfair. And quite silly, if you forgive me for saying so. Speaking of commerce, different shops sell similar items at different prices. Make sure you don't get cheated. People can be quite brazen around here. You can also barter with the folk out in the street. Some things may be nothing more than trinkets to you, but others will be willing to part with their life's blood for it. Blood, you say? Yes, blood. It's not my place to lecture you, but if following your Hippocratic oath you ever consider easing someone's pain, feel free to just approach them with a suitable drug. You will see their pain receding before your very eyes. The sick fall asleep when they're close to recovery, don't they? Or when they're close to their ultimate rest. It's one or the other. Still, helping the hopeless will grant you a good reputation. You will be seen as a benefactor willing to part with a precious sleeping draught or a painkiller for a simple bystander. Anything else, Mask Man? No, not yet. Bye then, Mask. Okay, so these two lovely gentlemen were our tutorial exposition. Now, before I attend to the lovely lady outside, I'm just gonna go ahead and look around the place for a little bit. So, this door I can't use. Oh, who are you? What are you, even? What is this game? Are you friendly? You're not going to attack me, will you? Let's talk to this guy first. Factory worker. This picture does not match this face. What do you want? This ain't your business. What is this creature? An odong, duh. That's what all them cattle breeders look like. Crude and unshapely and unfinished, don't you know? Wherever you came from? An intruder, huh? Yes, I'm a visitor in this town. Who could have thought it's home to such creatures? Worm. Your name is Worm. The worm feels sick. Head packed, blood boiling, belly freezing. Let the worm warm up. Let him take a rest. Don't touch us. We're dangerous. Whoa, that's... Ooh, you reek. Okay. What kind of Lovecraftian backwater did I end up in? You two are still creepy. Okay, I need to go down the street to visit Victor. Okay, we got pharmacy here. Did I just randomly pick up some coins? I think I did. What is this place? A young man. Good morals and luck are a great help in managing a small community without resorting to violence. Personal standing can work wonders. What do you mean? I like our town. We're all one big family, but sometimes I get the feeling that we're all controlled by an unseen power. Our actions, but fiction. It's quite possible. I like how like half of these characters are very self-aware. Also, what is that? The polyhedron. Why is it so weird? I picked up more money. What even? How is it staying up? Is it made of paper? Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go and talk to Victor now. Or rather, whoever I'm supposed to talk to first, because... Whew. Also, all of these houses, mansions in the Crucible seem terribly unfinished. Am I at the right place? Yes, I am. So I'm supposed to talk to his daughter first, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's find and talk to Maria first. I guess I went in through the back door. I don't think anyone will mind too much. Who is you? A young lady. Anything I can help you with? Nah, not really. Just saying hi. Okay, let's go in. Ooh, who was your interior decorator? And what were they on? That's some nice art. Really, really sets out the homely tones, Makes the whole place come together. Especially the daggers, even though they are wooden. That's something that you really want to have on your walls. Oh, I see. This is supposed to be a children's room. A small table, small shelves, a play horse, and wooden swords. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's exactly what you want immediately from the main entrance is a kid's room. Okay. You would imagine that our host Maria, there she is, would be like welcoming us somewhere around here and not allowing us to trudge through the. Oh, that's not art.
I think I'm having fever heat.
Do you? Nice nipples on that dress though. All the mirrors are smashed. Is that you? Kinda looks like you. Okay.
Why can't I move on my own?
You can't move on your own. Well, you can't. You're programmed to stay there. Ah.
Did you see anything weird on your way here?
Oh, you don't even want to know. Okay, Maria. You resemble an adventurer rather than a doctor. But I am an adventurer. I saw you in a dream. Don't flatter yourself. My desires have nothing to do with that. I simply saw you take us all by the throat. That's some cruel words there, lady. But also honest. What's so bad about it anyway? The strong manipulate the weak when they want to. Then it is all in my hands. Yeah, you. I have a lot to tell you, Bachelor Dankovsky, but I dare not until you meet my uncle Georgi. Otherwise, he'll rip my tongue out for disclosing a secret. That's some strict morals. They make much more sense than you may think. This is not a game. Or is it? For all that is holy, do speak to my uncle, and then come back to me. Otherwise, the excruciating anticipation will tear my heart to pieces. Alright, we cannot put your heart at stake, now can we? Okay. Okay, we need to go talk to the uncle, who is in this particular building. Alright. Ooh, this game is weird. Anyways, I'm all out of time for this episode, so I'm gonna drop this here. I got the shivers from this. I like it. I like the weird energy that it radiates. I personally love the weirdness. I love that the town is a cross between Silent Hill and Innsmouth. I love it, and the character design of those weirdos, even though they might be masks, is quite astounding, to be honest. The only thing that I'm quite perturbed by is the cattle guy, the worm, who is not so much of a mask. But anyways, I am definitely looking forward to playing more of this. And if you like this, throw a like, throw a subscribe, click the bell to see when I pull out more episodes. And with that, thank you all for joining, and I will see you in the next episode.